Your Excellency, the President of the Republic, my brother Governor, representing our very good partners, the Council of Governors, my colleagues, both in the ministry and across government, PSS, especially my colleagues in the ministry, PS Engineer Peter Tum, PS Ismail Made, together with all the government officials who are with us here today. And I also want to recognize in a very special way all the staff across this ministry, our members of staff, including the officer that ran the Sports, Arts and Social Development Fund, for the fantastic work you are doing together with the board members of the fund. Our frontline partners, the federations, and I can see a very impressive constellation of leadership of our various federations. I want to acknowledge the National Olympics Committee of Kenya, led by this legend in his own right, Dr. Paul Targat. I want to acknowledge the Athletics Kenya, led by General Jackson Tuwei, and all the other federations. And thank you for all of you joining us here today. Today, Your Excellency, is the first day of September. In another 12 days, we'll be marking year one of your reign in office. And for us, Your Excellency, that you've handed the privilege to manage this space of sports, the arts, and youth, we are happy today to share with you the work that is going on in this sector. And I particularly want to assure you, Your Excellency, that we are working extremely well with all our partners, including the National Assembly that plays the oversight role on this ministry. And I want to acknowledge in a very special way all the members of Parliament that have joined us here, led by the chairman of the committee responsible for oversighting this ministry, the Honorable Dan Wanyama. Asante sana Mwenyekiti, together with your members and your colleague members of Parliament that have joined us here. Your Excellency, today you are performing two tasks. Besides unveiling this building, you are also honoring our athletes who have, in recent times, continued the incredible Kenyan heritage, the incredible Kenyan tradition of flying the flag of this amazing country truly high. And allow me, therefore, because this is a ceremony which really is in honor of you great people, to recognize the following 4 teams, Your Excellency, that you will also be rewarding today. I want in a special way to recognize the team that represented Kenya at the Youth Commonwealth Games in Trinidad and Tobago. I also want to recognize the team that represented Kenya at the Africa Beach Games in Tunisia. We also recognize in a very special way the great, irrepressible, amazing Malkia strikers. Our amazing national volleyball team that just won the African Championship and thereby qualified for a direct ticket to the 2024 Paris Olympics. Thank you, great ladies, and thank you, your partners, the partners who are supporting us as we support this team. And I want to recognize Mozartbet, Sasa, Mheshimiwa, Sirma, together with your team that is supporting the Malkia strikers. Asanteni sana. And finally, Your Excellency, today you will also be honoring the team that represented Kenya at the World Athletics Championships in Budapest, Hungary. May you rise, please, Faith, together with your colleagues, this amazing team that led Kenya to win first position in Africa and fifth position in the world. Hongera sana. Your Excellency, in our midst, we also have one young man that we have invited here to represent the incredible program which you launched at State House, the Talanta Hela initiative. And at the heart of Talanta Hela is the identification, nurturing, and monetization of talents. Here today is a young man, Your Excellency, who first met you when he was about 12 years old. Today, he is the most valuable football player from our Kenya secondary school ball games and has just won a scholarship to study and progress his football in Spain. May I present to you Aldrin Kibet. Aldrin, nataka ukuje mbele tafadhali, uweze kumsalimia Mheshimiwa Rais. Please come with your parents, Aldrin. I know you are here with your mom and your dad. Come forward. And Your Excellency, Aldrin has a photo he took with you as a little boy, which he seeks to present to you. Those are Aldrin's parents. And that is you and Aldrin at the age of 12. Your Excellency, the media requests for you to take a photo with Aldrin facing the other side. Your Excellency, with your permission. The parents can join you. Thank you, Aldrin. Pongezi sana. Let's give it up to Aldrin. Your Excellency, Aldrin Kibet, and another young man, Alvin Kasavuli, and Moses Wanjala, are all heading to a top Spanish football academy. And this really is the new crop of the future of Kenyan football. And the three of them led 2,000 young Kenyans from our school ecosystem to the first ever national Sports Talent Academy camp that we hosted here in Nairobi. Young people that we selected during the National School Ball Games. Your Excellency, the building you have unveiled here today, appropriately named Talanta Plaza, is a symbol and a testament of the incredible work that your government has done in a brief, less than 12 months in office. When we came to office, Your Excellency, we found an abandoned building, an abandoned construction site, and in less than 1 year, Your Excellency, you can see the results of the work of your government. This building is now going to be the home of the Ministry of Youth Affairs, the Arts and Sports. It is a significant milestone for this ministry, Your Excellency, because this ministry has been scattered all over the place. The ministry is at the library. The ministry is at Kencom House. The ministry is at Bruce House. The ministry is at NSSF House. The ministry is all over and everywhere, which has made it very difficult to coherently coordinate activities of this ministry. Now the ministry can have one roof, which will make it easy to synergize our work and our service delivery. Your Excellency, when we came to office, we also inherited a sporting and creative scene that was in absolute chaos. We inherited football that was under suspension by the World Football Federation, FIFA. And Your Excellency, with your guidance, we moved with haste to engage the FIFA President Gianni Infantino, and today Kenya is back in the international footballing field. Not only are we back, and our teams are now participating in international football. Kakamega Homeboys has just participated in the CAF Confederation Cup. Harambee Stars is already engaging in international activities and is already poised to play in the next World Cup qualifiers, but we have also put in a bid to host the Africa Cup of Nations in 2027. That is how back we are. Your Excellency, we also inherited a scene where Kenya was under a very real threat of being banned by World Athletics for doping. And doping had indeed become a crisis. Again, Your Excellency, with your guidance, we engaged World Athletics. We hosted the president of World Athletics, Lord Sebastian Coe, here in Nairobi. We agreed on an all-out war against doping. Kenya was spared the ban. And most importantly, we now have a concise, coherent, multi-agency, brutal war against doping, fully funded by government at 700 million shillings a year for the next 5 years. And we are working together with World Athletics in that regard. We inherited a scene, Your Excellency, where infrastructure development was a mess. And indeed, Your Excellency, all stadia in Kenya had actually been banned by CAF and FIFA. We have moved with haste again to develop a master plan for development of infrastructure. And it's because of that master plan that we have been able to do emergency interventions. Today, Nyayo's National Stadium has been readmitted by CAF and can now host international games. And we are now accelerating that whole ecosystem in preparedness for AFCON 2027 and other sporting activities. We also inherited a scene, Your Excellency, where talents, especially from the schooling ecosystem, went to West. You had the drama festival, the music festival, the school ball games where we have discovered Aldrin Kibet, but you never knew where those talents went after school. We have now created a pipeline and a conveyor belt where all these talents are now flowing to the Kenya Academy of Sports at Kasarani, Your Excellency. And we are now able to pick up talents like Aldrin and progress them to the next level where they can be useful to themselves and to the country, in sync with the bottom-up economic transformation agenda. Your Excellency, we inherited a scene where the creatives, musicians, film, fashion, theater, pageantry, literary arts, fine art was not consolidated in any form. They were scattered all over the place. Now we have consolidated all these together. Now we have an arrangement where we are even providing cash incentives. For the first time this year, winners of the Kenya Theatre Awards were able to receive cash rewards from government. Winners of film awards, the Kalasha Awards, received cash awards from government. And that whole space is now consolidated, and we are preparing the creative economy bill that will, in a very deliberate, intentional, and structured manner, transform the creatives into a whole industry, helping to power our economic transformation. Finally, Your Excellency, we inherited a scene where our sportsmen and women, our creatives, were never really honored as they deserve. Your Excellency, until last month, we had athletes who had represented this country, won medals 10 years ago, and had never been rewarded. We moved with haste, Your Excellency, to do, number one, revise the whole cash reward scheme. And now we have a whole new scheme, Your Excellency. It is under that scheme that you yourself received our incredible talent, Faith Kipyegon, at State House. And you are able to award her and reward her for breaking 2 world records in the space of 14 days. And the 5 million shillings for breaking the world record, and a house which Faith can confirm is a real house in her real name, and that she's in possession of the house, is part of the revised scheme, Your Excellency. But we also made sure, Your Excellency, that we cleared and settled all outstanding dues to our athletes going back over 10 years. We hosted the Hongera Awards, where we cleared all those dues, and also did something else that had never been done. We honored our legends, going back all the way to the 60s. And so when you see Ross Tatamuya and Tegla Lorupe there, and John Kamau there, and Catherine Dareba, when you see them beaming, we were able to honor them with mementos and cash awards, just to say, Hongera na shukran for your great service to this country. And so I can report to you, Your Excellency, without a shadow of doubt, no equivocation, no ambiguity, no circumlocution, that this team that you have given the responsibility to manage this space for you is delivering exactly in the manner you have instructed us to deliver. And we assure you, Your Excellency, that we'll continue to do this. We'll continue to put the athlete first. In this ecosystem, our mantra is that the sportsman, the sportswoman is queen, is king. The sportsman, the sportswoman is the goose that lays the golden egg. And that is where the emphasis of our attention is. We know that we will perform a lot better as we move forward, as we consolidate this space even more. And I am so happy to report today, you athletes, you great people, your fan number one, your supporter number one, who makes sure that we do all these things, is His Excellency William Samoei Arap Ruto. Your Excellency, I now want to invite you to address it, but before we do that, allow me to recognize another incredible feat, achievement that our country was honored with a couple of weeks ago, when the President of Athletics Kenya was also elected as Vice President of World Athletics. And Your Excellency, the ministry wishes to recognize General for not just being a general in real terms, but also being a leader whose credentials continue to guide our athletics here, but he has now taken this leadership to the international level. General, allow me, with respect, to present to you these symbols of honor from the ministry to congratulate you formally for your election as Vice President of World Athletics.